On a previous video you discovered the attacking formation and why we need the players to be in certain positions. Now it's a turn of defensive players, so hopefully we should be able to do this fairly quickly. Now we've got two players ready to attack, so let's place our first player. So golden rule, first of all, they must be able to cover the line. They're also somewhere around the middle of a court so they can come forward and we can move backwards. Some people have this idea that they should be further forward and be equal distance from the net to the back line. Now it's an interesting point of view, but we do have a lunge, an arm and a racket. That's going to stretch out a long way. And in particular, we also need to remember that the best drop shot in the world, unless it's a fluke, is not going to land there. Most drop shots are going to land within this zone. So why be so close when we don't need to? Doesn't make any sense. Additionally, if this was a smash, this player would probably be too close to the net to be able to respond properly and counter that shot. So let's move them further back court. Sometimes you see the Korean players historically, way back here, and are leaving this quite a way open. And it's a great tactic that whilst they continue to get the smash back, soon as somebody can play a drop shot and stun that shuttle into this zone, they seem to be struggling a little bit. So let's get yourself in position here. Now, golden rule for you here. Shuttle's on this side. Where am I going to put the partner? Some people think they should be side by side, almost in line with each other. And there's a bit of a problem with that, and I'm sure you can see it from where we are now. The shuttle coming in here, this player is going to defend. That flight path means the shuttle could hit the floor before they actually touch the shuttle, because they're a lot further away from the front. So we need to think a little bit different. A good formation, you may find, is more like this. Now, we should be equal distance from the shuttle. This person slightly further forward, they are covering the centre line and they're taking an angle to try and stop any potential cross court that might come this way. It's highly unlikely. Most games of doubles, you don't smash cross court very often. So the 80-20 shot is going to be straight, isn't it? 20% there, 80% there. Knowing that, this player is the most likely player to be attacked. So that is our defensive formation. If we move to this side, then you can imagine that basically we just flip. We're still equal distance from the shuttle. So you would expect that if the shuttle is hit from the middle, then that's what we adopt. And some pairs do. For me, there's your danger zone. You've got to cover that. And this is where we get the racket clashes as well, which we would like to avoid at all costs. So if that's the case, how can we make this stronger? Well, what about if we think of this player slightly cross court? So we get not quite equal distance, but just a tiny stagger. We also need to decide who's taking that shot. If it's both right-handers, that's a backhand low, that's a forehand low. Who's the strongest player to take that? More confusion comes in, of course, if one's a right-hander and one's a left-hander, because now we've got either two backhands or two forehands. So somebody has to make a decision who's taking that shot. That's part of the tactics that these pair need to work out and stick to. But with this slight stagger, even if you get it wrong, the chances are this racket will be forward of this one. And if that's the case, then hopefully you won't have a clash of rackets. You will just be able to move through and return the shot. So there you go. From a defensive point of view, those are the three main areas we will work with in level doubles. What about mixed doubles then? Is it any different? Well, depending on the capability of the lady, and we will say this is a lady and the red's a lady and the yellow is a man. So if we put, let's go back to our original instead. If we put our attack back into this corner, the man is taking a straight smash, the lady's taking a cross court smash. Now some ladies prefer to take a more forward defence and they will take a crouch position here. And we see this very often, and there's some very, very good ladies who are superb at this. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. What we don't want is a lady doing that on the wrong side of the court and taking a straight smash crouch position. Not ideal. So let's put her back cross court. If she's a very, very capable player, you may find she likes to drop out a little bit. I still crouch somewhat, but she's quite happy to defend more like a man. Fantastic. More than happy with that as well. What will happen if the shuttle's in the centre? Well, now she's in a position that she has to take a smash from the back, just like her male partner. Most men, at certain levels in particular, don't like this. They think the lady should stay there, which is totally ridiculous. How can you expect a player to defend from there, this bullet of a smash that's coming from here? Absolutely ridiculous. And how can a man cover both sides of a court? It's just not possible, is it, to do that? So we need to ensure that we allow the lady to defend further back. Now if a lady hasn't got the skills, then you need to teach them or send to a coach to teach them. But you cannot expect a lady to stay at the front of a court and take a smash from there, not from a straight. And usually what we tend to find, it's on this side, because the man's it a lousy backhand that's short in length and drifting towards the centre, fully exposing this lady. Absolutely not on. But unfortunately this is a typical state of affairs we see in low league badminton. We must at all times try at least keep the shuttle wide and give that lady a chance of intercepting that shuttle. So there you go, we've had defensive formations for level doubles, defensive formations for mixed doubles. Practice, practice, practice as much as you can. Talk to your partner, work it out. It's so much easier if you just take the time to figure out what you should be doing, rather than a man trying to dictate to a lady to stay in the tee at all times, which just does not work. So work as a pair, figure it out, and hopefully you'll find that your defence gets stronger and stronger. I'll see you on another video.